In the heart of ancient Jerusalem, as the sun casts its first golden rays over stone buildings, a story of unparalleled love and sacrifice begins to unfold. This is the story of Jesus, a man whose life would change the world forever. Imagine walking alongside him on a dusty village path, his simple robes flowing gently. There's a profound calmness about him, a gentle kindness that draws people in. Villagers pause their morning routines, their faces filled with curiosity and a flicker of hope. He wasn't a king in a palace, but his presence commanded a different kind of attention, one born of quiet strength and deep compassion. When Jesus spoke, it was like a melody that calmed the soul. He would gather small crowds, his hand raised not in authority, but in invitation. He spoke of love, of forgiveness, and of a kingdom not of this world. The light seemed to gather around him, illuminating the faces of those who listened, their expressions shifting from weariness to wonder. He didn't just speak words. He healed lives. With a gentle touch, he would restore the sick, and in their eyes, you could see a miracle unfold, a moment of pure relief and overwhelming joy. But not everyone saw him as a source of light. In the shadows, religious leaders watched, their faces etched with suspicion and growing unease. They saw his influence as a threat, a disruption to their established order. Their whispers and narrowed eyes signaled a gathering storm, a tension that was slowly building beneath the peaceful surface of his teachings. Yet, the people's love for him was undeniable. When he rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, it was a moment of pure celebration. The streets erupted in cheers, and palm branches waved like a sea of green. It was a king's welcome, for the humblest of men, a vibrant, joyful scene filled with hope for a new beginning. Later, in the quiet glow of candlelight, the mood shifted. Jesus gathered with his 12 disciples for one final meal, the Last Supper. The air was thick with unspoken emotions. As he broke bread, his expression was calm but carried the weight of the world. He told them, "This is my body, given for you." He then lifted a cup of wine, its surface catching the flickering light. "This cup," he said, "is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you." It was a moment of profound symbolism, a quiet farewell that his followers did not yet fully understand. From there, he walked alone into the moonlit Garden of Gethsemane. The cool blue light filtered through the olive trees as he knelt to pray. It was a moment of deep, human struggle, a son speaking to his father about the immense sacrifice that lay ahead. His face, illuminated by a soft, divine glow, showed both sorrow and an unshakable resolve. He knew what was coming. The calm was shattered by the flicker of torches. Soldiers, their armor glinting in the dark, came to arrest him. Judas, one of his own, stepped forward, his face a mask of conflict and regret, and betrayed him with a kiss. Jesus accepted his fate with a quiet dignity that stood in stark contrast to the shock and fear of his disciples. His hands were bound, and the hope that had filled Jerusalem just days before now seemed to fade into the night. He was dragged before the religious leaders, a scene of chaos and shouted accusations. In a dark, crowded hall, he stood silent, enduring mockery and beatings. They pressed a crown of thorns onto his head, a cruel parody of his kingship. Yet, through it all, his eyes held not anger, but a profound sorrow and mercy for his accusers. The crowd, swayed by fear and manipulation, turned against him. Their cries for his crucifixion filled the air, a roar of anger against his stillness. He was then forced to carry his own cross through the winding streets. Each step was a struggle, his body strained under the heavy wood. He stumbled and fell, his hands pressing into the dusty ground, a heart-wrenching image of exhaustion and pain. On a hill called Golgotha, they nailed him to the cross. The sky above began to darken, as if nature itself was mourning. The vibrant colors of the world muted into solemn grays. As he hung there, between two criminals, his words were of forgiveness. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." His gaze was filled with both pain and an infinite compassion. Then, as dark clouds consumed the sky, he breathed his last. A deep, heavy silence fell over the land. The story, it seemed, had come to a tragic end. His grieving followers gently took his body down from the cross. Tears fell silently as they prepared him for burial. They laid him in a new stone tomb, the torchlight casting soft shadows on his peaceful face. A large stone was rolled in front of the entrance, sealing the finality of death. The world held its breath in sorrow and silence. But the dawn always follows the darkest night. As the first light of the third day kissed the Jerusalem skyline, a new hope began to stir. A few women, his most devoted followers, made their way to the tomb, carrying spices to anoint his body. They walked with heavy hearts, their path lit by the soft colors of the sunrise. When they arrived, they found the impossible. The massive stone was rolled away. A brilliant, divine light poured out from the entrance, bathing them in a glow of pure wonder. They peered inside, and the tomb was empty. The burial cloths lay folded neatly, but Jesus was gone. In his place stood an angel, radiating a gentle, white light. "Do not be afraid," the angel said, his voice calm and joyful. "He is not here. He has risen, just as he said." The women's fear instantly transformed into overwhelming joy. They ran from the tomb, their robes flowing behind them, their hearts pounding with the most incredible news. And then, in the garden, he appeared to them. Jesus, alive and radiant, with a calm, loving smile. The resurrection was real, hope had not died. It had been reborn, more powerful than ever. He later appeared to his disciples, who were hiding in fear and despair. He showed them the healed wounds in his hands. Their disbelief melted into tears of joy and amazement. The reunion was a powerful, emotional climax. The teacher they had lost, the friend they had mourned, was with them once more. Peace and hope filled the room, brighter than any candle. In the days that followed, Jesus taught them again, his voice filled with a calm authority and a renewed promise. He blessed them, a gentle light surrounding him as he prepared for his final farewell. Then, before their very eyes, he ascended into the sky, disappearing into soft clouds and glowing light, a triumphant, epic departure. The story of Jesus isn't just a story about an ending. It's a story about a new beginning. It's a testament to the power of love over hate, of life over death, and of hope that can never be extinguished. It's a story that continues to echo through time, reminding us that even after the darkest night, the sun will always rise. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more content from the biggest stories ever told.